So I'm going to show you bridge pose first. You're going to lie down on the mat and just have the soles of your feet down, close to your hips. And you want to be in a neutral position with your back. You don't want to be too arched. Try to ground your tailbone downwards towards your heels so that your back is a little bit flatter. And if you have some pillows or blankets, you can always use them. I'm going to show you how to use them in a bit. So your toes point forward, your feet are hip width apart. And just be comfortable here. Your arms are going to rest just by the sides of your body. You're going to stay here and we're going to lift the hips up. So your arms are supporting your body slightly, and when you're ready, you can inhale and lift the hips high here, but make sure not too high that your wrists start to lift or your knees start to go wider. You want to just keep a nice length in the front body as well as the back body, and supporting with your arms. You can stay here as long as you feel is good for you. Make sure there's no tension in your shoulders or any compression in the neck. If you feel that it's hard to breathe, then don't go too high, or you can always take supported bridge. So an option is either to stay here and hold and then release, or you can do dynamic bridge where you inhale to come up and then exhale to release down. Now, a more restorative pose is if you get a pillow or a block underneath your lower back. So if you have a yoga block or even a hardcover book, you can place that underneath your sacrum and then just stay here and open your palms up. This is a very relaxing position. And you're just getting the hips higher than the body, letting the blood flow down towards the head. Another option is to go higher. You can increase the height of the block if that suits you, or if you prefer a little more softer padding, you can bring a pillow underneath you. You can stay here for a few breaths. And if you like some added variations, maybe stretching the arms over your head and then releasing the feet all the way down so you straighten your legs. And you can just let your toes drop if that's okay for your lower back. Staying here and feeling that nice curve in your body as your chest opens up. This is a great way to release some of that roundedness you might feel in your posture, being in front of your gadgets all day or your laptop. And also extends the spine, lengthens the entire body, and releases tension in the neck and shoulders. So you can always stay here and just notice how you feel in this position. If you don't feel much of an elevation in your hips, feel free to do this with a block and your choice of height here, depending on how you feel on the body. And then just relax the shoulders down and melt down. Make sure there's no tension in the lower back when you're in this position. It should be a restful position. You can stay as long as you want, maybe 3 to 5 minutes, and then to come out of it, just bend your knees, lift the hips up, and then relax again. To come out, just slowly roll to the side and push up. So next pose I'm going to show you is child's pose. Now this is our go-to resting pose in yoga whenever we feel overwhelmed in our practice, if it's too much, too tiring, and we always recommend the child's pose to take in your practice if you are doing yoga. And in everyday life as well, child's pose is really beneficial. It's quite a meditative pose when you stay there in that pose. Your head is down and close to the ground. It's very grounding. It brings you balance and keeps you centered. And especially if you feel overwhelmed and anxious in your day, it's really great to calm yourself down. It also helps calm the nervous system. So all 3 poses that I'm showing really helps with the nervous system. Takes you from the fight or flight mode into a more rest and repair mode, which is what you want for healing in your body, both mentally, emotionally, and physically. So I'm going to show you how to get into a wide-legged child's pose. You're going to have your knees as wide as your mat. If you don't have a mat, you can always be on your carpet. And you're going to sit down on your heels with your toes pointing and your big toes touching. Now, if you have tight hips and tightness around the lower body, you might need your props again, so either blankets or a pillow. So I'll show you with a pillow. If you feel that you can't sit all the way down and it's kind of, there's tension in your ankles and in your hips, then get a pillow right behind you so that you can sit yourself on the pillow and there's a bit of height. You can adjust the pillow, maybe fold the pillow into two, your choice. As long as you're comfortable here. And if you feel tension in the ankles, you can always add a blanket underneath the ankles as well, so that there's no tension. Now, these are all restful poses, so you shouldn't feel any tension at all. It should bring you into this rest and relaxed state. And then you're going to walk your hands in front of you, rest your elbows, and just rest your forehead down. Now, if your forehead is also, if you feel that tightness in your body and it's hard for your forehead to come down, then please also grab a pillow or a blanket in front of you or a block where you can rest your head on. Just comfortably, and make sure the back of your neck is extended nice and long. And then you're going to reach your arms forward and just stay here for a few breaths. As long as you need to, you can spend 3 to 5 minutes here as well. And make sure your hands are relaxed. You can even open your palms up if that works for you. And just focus on your breath, inhaling and exhaling through the nose. Nice, comfortable, deep breaths, no forcing, just your normal breathing. As you inhale, just focus on creating space in the body, and as you exhale, you can melt your chest down lower and release some of that roundedness in your back. You also can feel the extension in the back and the entire spine, all the way down to your lower back. So that's what you want to feel, that length and the extension. And once you're done, you can lift and then come out of the pose slowly. And the last pose we're going to do is really highly recommended, a go-to pose that you can do if that's the only pose you have time for. This would be the pose you want to get into, and it's called legs up on the wall, and it's really easy. I'm going to show you. From here, get your pillows or blankets close so that in case you want a modification in this pose. How to get into the pose is you're going to have your feet against the wall. Scoot your butt as close to the wall as possible and keep your side body close to your mat or the floor. Then you're going to lie down on the side and then just turn to face the ceiling. Stretch the legs straight. And you can adjust here. If you have tight hamstrings, maybe your legs are going to be bent, but you want to just try to straighten them as much as possible. Relax the thighs so the inner thighs fall out and your knees turn out and your toes as well. If you feel you're too close to the wall and it's hurting your back, then please move further away from the wall so that you can come into a nice, comfortable position. Your lower back is grounded, everything is flat, and your back is resting down. Your arms can fall out to the sides, palms open. Make sure there's no compression here in the upper body. Your neck and your shoulders are relaxed. And you can stay here for as long as you need to. Just let the blood flow down towards the brain. This is a really awesome restorative pose. If you're feeling overwhelmed and you need some time out from your day, you can stay here even for up to 10 minutes. It's a very deep meditative pose as well. And the same thing here, you can focus on your breathing and just feeling rested and grounded to the floor. Just being a little bit more introspective and reflective in your day, noticing how you feel in your body, in your mind, and in your emotions as well. It's super important to be able to check in with yourself every day, or from time to time in your day, just to notice how you feel and whether you're feeling overwhelmed or if you are perhaps ignoring your emotions, and you want to be able to address them and just acknowledge how you're feeling. That's the first step into bringing about more balance and well-being into your life. So if you're okay here and you want to add a little bit more of modifications or variations to the pose. You can do a deep hamstring stretch by moving your legs further apart if that's comfortable for you. And you feel that nice inner thigh stretch. This is an option. Or you can even go into butterfly legs. So your soles of your feet are together, your knees are apart, and you can slide your heels down closer to your pelvis and just relax here. Your arms can even go overhead to stretch out the entire spine, and you feel that nice stretch in the upper chest. Another way is to add some height to your hips. So you can grab your block or pillow or blankets and then just have the soles of your feet on the wall, lift your hips up, and then just bring the prop underneath your sacrum, and then extend your legs out again and relax here. So the elevated hips help you to just get the blood flowing down more. It gives you a more relaxed state of mind. Your blood is flowing, increases blood circulation, and it most importantly helps to decompress all our inner organs and just reverse the pull of gravity and giving the organs a little bit of resting time here from all that compression. So it helps your body rest and repair here in this position as well. And it's okay if you fall asleep in this pose because you're too comfortable. That's not a bad thing. So to get out of the pose, just the same way, you're going to have your feet on the floor or rather on the wall. Lift the hips and slowly release. And then you're going to turn to fetal position on the side. If you would like, you can always stay here for a few breaths. And then coming up slowly. And you're done. I hope you found those poses helpful and take some time out in your day. Prioritize your self-care, especially in this time of lockdown. Thank you so much for joining me.